Was given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act by the Board Secretary to at least 2 newspapers on December 27, 2024, and this meeting has been posted on the Township Bulletin Board, Electronic Message Board, WCTV, and on the Township website. Please join me in a salute to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a roll call, please.
Mr. D'Agostino?
Here.
Mrs. Grimaldi? Here. Ms. Hannah?
Here.
Mr. LaGrada?
Here.
Mr. Zitko?
Here.
Mr. Rivera? Mrs. Osmond?
Here.
Chairman Getz?
Here.
Let the record reflect also in attendance are Attorney Gary D'Antonio, Board Engineer John Yakimic, and Board Secretary Grace Kalish.
Okay. So on to the public portion. So if members of the general public want to participate in the general public portion of the meeting, please click the link on the website and list it on the agenda to join the webinar if you are at home, or you will be asked to state your name for the record, and we ask that only one person speak at a time. This public comment portion is only for non-agenda items. Time is set aside later in the meeting to address questions or comments about current agenda items. If you are participating by phone, press *9 to raise your hand and *6 to unmute. At the end of the general public portion, no further general questions or comments will be accepted. And of course, if you are in the audience today physically, just raise your hand and you will be recognized. Okay, motion to open the public portion.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, anyone in the audience? Anyone at home? See no hands, I'll ask for a motion to close the public portion.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, approval of minutes. Those members with a strike-through are not able to vote due to absence or not being a member at the time of the meeting. September 16th, 2025. Anyone have any issues or comments, corrections?
Nope, not for me.
Nope. All look good to me too. Okay, in that case, motion to approve the September 16th, 2025 minutes.
Motion. Second.
Roll call.
Mr. D'Agostino?
Yes, I approve.
Mrs. Grimaldi? Yes. Mr. LaGrada?
Yes.
Mr. Zitko?
Yes.
Mr. Rivera?
Yes.
Mrs. Osmond?
Yes.
Chairman Getz?
Yes. All right, new business. The application for request for Christopher and Kimberly Bendick, an addition and alterations to 754 Koch Peak Avenue, Block 4103, Lot 24. We did not receive all the paperwork that is needed for the board and the professionals to give a report and make an informed decision. So we are going to carry it to the next meeting. Gary, is there anything that we need to do? Do we need to take a vote on whether they need to republish or anything, or?
I mean, just for the board's information, the applicant, Mr. Yakimic, had asked for a survey, which was only provided today, I believe, right? And apparently that survey, while it was very recent from when they bought the property in March or April, did not depict the current state of the property, because there was an addition that they were getting permits for, and I guess somewhere along the way they changed their plans, which required them to come in front of this board. And, it was sent to us. My question was, the board should have an accurate depiction of what is on the property now, especially something in addition. Plus, it may change impervious coverage, which they're also requesting a variance for that. So based on, that, we decided that it was not complete. It was not complete.
Not complete.
Right, that's really the bottom line.
I think we're also going to need, since there was an addition done, and it's relevant to Mr. Yakimic's analysis, as far as height, yes, we're going to need some more numbers on that, and we're also going to need the original plan submission for the addition.
Okay, I have
So-
that, so I can send that.
Okay.
And they're aware they need an as-built survey.
Yes.
What else?
Height calculation.
Calculations on building height. I talked at length with the applicant today.
Height calculation.
And I could call the applicant back tomorrow to advise about the original plans for the addition.
Okay.
May I ask if it's two-car garage and he already made it a one-car garage only? I mean, because he built a one-car garage in front of where the two is.
To my understanding, that's not true. He got a permit to extend the building to put in, to keep the two-car garage, and then has decided during construction to change it to eliminate one. That's my understanding.
Did you go up there, Mr.?
I have not yet, no.
Okay, well, there's pictures and it's obvious for the type of house it is
Mhm.
and how he built this one-car garage, that there's no way he kept any of the two-car garage that was there. I know that, it's a bi-level.
We will get to the truth.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. But not tonight, at the next meeting. So that would be carried to the next meeting and there's no need to republish, I don't.
I mean, I wouldn't think so. I don't think anything is changing from their notices or anything.
Like,
No, well, did you look at the notice?
I looked at it.
Only if it's, I would say only if it goes from a C to a D, but it's not.
Right.
Right, and we won't know that until we get the additional information, but if it does go from a C to a D, then they will have to renotice.
Renotice.
It'll
I
be
just had
on
that
a
last
separate
night.
meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think the notice is adequate for now,
yes. but
because
we'll-
the variance is just the number of garage bays and impervious
Impervious
coverage. So those are C variances.
Right, but if that does change, then they will have to renotice for the December meeting.
Correct.
All right, so this is October, so they come back November.
They properly
And then-
noticed for this.
Right, and then what happens in the middle?
If the
in the middle of the meeting, if it has to be renoticed, we stop it, and then they come back.
No, we'll know before the November
We'll
meeting.
know before that.
Yes.
Because they gotta get a survey and we'll know if it's a height variance.
Right, when they come in and they say, oh, there's an additional variance, or now it's a different type of variance, then we'll say, okay, you need
Yes.
to
That's before the
renotice.
November meeting.
Yes, before the November meeting,
Okay.
we will know that, and if we don't know that, then it will be carried again anyway.
December.
So, and Grace, I'm sure you'll be in touch with Mr. Yukimik on that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so, any more questions or comments on that?
I have lots of comments.
All right, so on to old business. Resolution numbers ZB 2516 to approve the application of Jose Penfield to extend resolution ZB 2419 for a new single-family home to be located at 662 Jefferson Avenue, Block 3102, Lot 9. Do we have any revisions on the resolution? Yeah.
No, but I have a question. Did we receive the paperwork showing that he's the new owner of that
Yes.
property?
And the proper plan showing the way it was approved.
Proper plan, just,
Revised plan.
no, we received proof, because what happened is, this was approved last year, and then we had Mr. Penfield making a request to extend it, and
Right.
I had asked Grace, well, we need proof, who is, who
Right,
is
'cause
he?
his
So,
brother-in-law sold it to him.
yeah, so he provided a recorded deed
Okay, so we got that.
that shows it is now owned by an entity, I think it's like the property address, and also showing a certificate of formation that shows he's the registered agent of that entity. So at least enough information to show that Total Build Solutions does not own this property anymore, and
But we also never got the revised drawings to show the changes that were approved at the zoning board meeting yet.
well, they still have to
Flipping
provide
it so the driveway was on Jefferson as opposed
We have not
to,
done that.
It's still a condition of the,
Yeah.
so if this new buyer that's supposed to be buying it is going to need to provide that.
So then how can we approve the?
Because
It's an
it's a condition of the
Oh,
resolution.
it's a condition. Okay.
It was a condition of the extension of the resolution.
No one has come to change anything, it's just extending that resolution, but that still stands, the conditions have to be satisfied.
I'm just concerned if we approve approve it based on the conditions and nobody picks up the conditions, he might get his paperwork.
We will make sure that he does not.
Why I'm sitting in the building.
That's why it brings.
I know
To
that.
make
building
sure
department now.
But
that
it's
things
just,
like that
you all
don't
looked at me like that. you
as
said,
frequently as they
"Yeah,
used
me."
to.
The old resolution has to be part of that resolution.
But you
Nice disclaimer landing there.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It just happened today in Hawthorne and my phone's exploding, so.
Okay,
So it happens all over the place, apparently.
I know that, but
Stop it from happening.
right, that's what we're trying to prevent
Yes.
and see, okay, my opinion is I don't like approving anything until everything is dot the i's and cross the t's and we have everything in first.
I agree.
And then
He's right.
we approve it and then they can go forward. But approving something and still waiting for something for somebody else to make sure that they get it while we don't know if we got it or didn't get it. And then 6 months down the road, we have another big major problem. I don't like it.
I don't like it either. I
So
just
if I-
don't know if we can reverse that order by law.
So why can't, if it goes to a vote,
I mean, you can vote no,
right,
and if it doesn't pass, then they could sue us.
What are you talking about in general? Are we talking?
In general, yes. I mean, if there's a
Well, you're usually
condition,
trying to move cases along, depending what it is. Like, you could certainly say, come back to the next
Yeah.
meeting, depending on time constraints, or come back to the
we
next.
could.
I know
You could
that.
say, come back to the next meeting,
I hear what you're
you
saying,
know? You certainly
but
could.
past has not done well.
Yeah, no, well, that's the board. The board could decide, you guys could decide, hey, we're gonna come back next month after we have A, B, and C. Sometimes it might be a very minor thing that you might say, well, I don't want to hold this person up for another month, you know, which is a lot of times, why it's very common that there are conditions or there are other things that are not done yet until they know that they have the board's approval
I know
or
that.
a decision.
I
So,
get-
But you can certainly.
No, I understand what you're saying, but
Yeah.
I don't, even if it's a small thing,
Well,
small
that's
things
up to
can
you.
still
You
bite you in
guys,
the
yeah.
buns.
Absolutely.
And that's how I feel.
Absolutely. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm just, you have that option. The board has the option.
I'm just stating my case in for record, that's all.
I just don't know if we do have that option under the statute
The problem is.
For what, for this?
to not approve if there's a condition in the resolution.
Oh, you're talking about, I'm talking about if you're at a meeting, you haven't voted on it yet, and the board needs more information.
Right, I think he's talking about approving this resolution.
Right.
No, I said in general, I thought you were just talking about in general.
No, he's talking about it this.
So approving this,
If they're not done by a certain.
yeah, I mean, it's going to be an ongoing condition that has to be satisfied.
Yeah.
I know
I
that.
don't think you can't necessarily stop it. I mean,
November.
it's,
Right.
it's
But
questions.
I can
Question about
vote the
extending
way,
it.
I can vote the way I want, everybody can vote the way they want, and to see what the numbers come out to be. That's all.
Yeah, you could not approve an extension. But usually it's like what's
I understand that.
come back.
We already approved the extension. This is just the
This is the
resolution.
resolution. That's where it gets sticky. We already approved the extension. It's the question, we approved the extension with the conditions which are in the resolution.
Mhm.
Do we have a solid foundation legally to vote no on the resolution if that condition is in there?
The condition-
Right, and that condition is the
Just because we don't
ownership.
like the way that things
No.
are done after it leaves us, doesn't necessarily give us the ability legally to be on the right side of the statute. That's my concern, because I agree with everything that's been said.
We have
Oh, what
the
if you vote
paperwork showing
down?
the
If we vote down the
ownership.
You'll probably get sued.
Okay,
That's
Yes,
why
you're probably gonna get
that
sued.
condition has been met.
That the ownership has been met. It's the condition that we said in the paperwork based on what Kevin just said, we do not have. So if we approve it, let's say we approve it and it's subject to that condition, and the gentleman never brings it in and nobody sees it or picks it up or whatever, he's gonna get his permits to go ahead, and we don't have all the I's and the T's.
And he'll be half built with it the wrong way and they'll have to stop and
So,
fix
I
it.
mean, I think
That's
that goes back to more when the application is in front of you. As
No,
to-
but, no,
as
it's
to
also,
what you want.
no, but it's
before
all
approving.
right, and we said we need this, and we don't have it, and we're going to approve.
Right, but then you don't vote.
Then, okay,
You don't vote on it.
fine.
Right?
So,
I mean,
but-
you go to the next
hold on.
meeting,
So
when you
hold
get
on.
everything.
You voted already to approve it
Yeah,
with
right.
conditions.
See,
But we
that's why
don't
when I
have-
vote no, I vote no. And then they say to me, well, you can't do that. Yes, you can. If you're voting and that day that you actually vote and I vote no, then therefore that's a vote.
When the
No.
application.
Well,
I don't have to vote yes when the
It's if the
resolution
resolution's
comes.
an accurate of what the board approved.
Okay, so let
That's what you're
me ask you this example. We said to him, bring us proof of the new ownership. Let's say by tonight he did not do it. How can we vote yes or no if he didn't bring in that he actually owns the property, as an example?
We would carry it. We would
Yeah,
carry
you
the
just
vote.
carry that.
So-
Yeah,
We carry the
Why
vote,
can't-
yeah.
So why can't
We don't have to necessarily.
You don't have to
on
vote
it.
tonight. You can carry it.
That's fine.
Yeah, we
If he didn't bring the stuff in.
Okay, well, I thought it was either a
And
yes
that
or
holds
no
him up.
deal. That's,
But that holds them up.
that was my thinking. Either yes or no.
Yeah.
I didn't know we could carry it
You
forward.
could carry it.
I'd rather carry it.
But then they can't start, so that holds them up, which is fine. I mean, I'm not debating that part. That's okay. But if
I
you don't
just
do what
think
you're
so-
supposed to,
I just,
So if I may, if you carry it, I think the proper courtesy would be for Grace to call him and
Oh, yeah,
say,
correct.
we need
correct.
those plans.
Correct.
So it doesn't keep getting carried.
Right, keep,
Right.
again,
Yeah,
this-
of course.
that we're talking.
No,
about-
I agree. If it's a carry, then she has to follow up and just make sure that he brings in the paperwork so we have it for the next month meeting. Yeah, that's,
Because he was supposed to have it by this meeting, correct?
I can't.
I don't think
remember.
all to see or not, other than to know that it was.
Yeah,
And
I
the
don't-
other piece to think of, just from a courtesy standpoint, is if we carry it another month, does that now put him on hold until February or March because it's getting cold?
that's his problem.
Well, it's his problem if we,
But
if,
we extended it for just a certain amount of time.
right. So that was a lot of the discussion was, what did we do, 6 months? Or 8 months?
8 months.
Instead of the full year, because we wanted him to get this done, and now we're gonna cause the delay.
But that was to put shovel to ground, correct? Once he
Yes.
does that, then the 8 months doesn't
Well,
right.
exist anymore.
He's selling the property, it's incentive to go out
And you
and
can-
buy
I
it.
don't
know if he
Build on it
knows
for
if
years,
that's
right,
a
2
revision.
years.
I don't know if Mr. Penfield knows.
what's what?
I don't know if Mr. Penfield knows the extent of the revisions that have to be made. I don't know if he's aware of that.
But he said-
But he's selling the
Yes.
property anyway.
He's just selling it.
He's
He
selling
bought
it,
it,
building
he's
and he's selling it.
He said he could bring the paperwork tomorrow. That's what he said when he was here. I could have the
Which
paperwork.
he brought
today.
up.
He did.
That was the ownership.
That was
Yeah,
the
he
only,
got the
and he did that.
I don't remember that we told him he had to have the plans here. I think we just advised him that they were different than the ones he had.
Well, that the conditions are still open. That
So
money should be
therefore,
satisfied.
I don't know, and if we can now use that as a reason to carry it, if we didn't expressly say we needed this.
But he also said that he was gonna follow the conditions from the prior owner, since it was his brother-in-law.
Right.
To.
Yeah, no,
So-
we didn't change anything.
Right.
The only thing that was missing was he didn't have with him the set of drawings that showed that it was flipped.
Right,
We never got that from the previous owner.
right, which if the previous owner was here, probably the board would have. brought that
But
up
if he
too.
puts a shovel in the ground and puts the driveway on Mary Ann, then we have every right to stop him at that point and say, no, you gotta fix him. Or at whatever point he gets noticed that it's not according to the way the board approved the plans. So it's in his best interest to do it the right way, because that's gonna cost a lot of money if he's got a foundation built and somebody goes by and says, hey, the driveway's on the wrong side, and he's gotta knock it all down and redo it.
Where that is in the resolution,
Show what?
the condition that he has to have, so I'm not seeing it. I mean, I'm also reading
Condition he has to have, which,
the updated,
the ownership information?
well, there was the ownership information, but it was also
Ownership is a
That's
condition of the
plan.
extension.
That, right. Any conditions of the original are gonna be in the original resolution,
Okay.
which would be attached to this because it's referenced in the resolution.
So it's not in this,
No, it's not reiterating all the variances and everything that were approved. It's just approving an extension of resolution, ZB 2419,
then that's what we, okay.
which is referenced and is actually part of this.
You got 2419? Did I miss it?
But it said here. Yeah. I'm saying.
Oh, 2419, that's from last year. Right, Gav?
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is
It's not
the
gonna reference
resolution for
the
this
extension.
extension.
For revised plans to be submitted to the.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
It does say
Pursuant
revised
to
plans
the
to the board
site
engineer.
plan.
Somewhere, yeah, pursue, we're all approved with the board of 24. The granting of this extension is subject to the terms and conditions set forth in the resolution of approval dated November 19th, 2024, attached here to and incorporated here by reference.
okay. So it's under those, it's not it's not an additional,
This is a resolution just to extend
It
the
does,
approval.
it does state though, in the third to last line in the second, well, first paragraph, revised plans are due to the board engineer.
Yes.
They have not been submitted yet.
okay.
So take
That's
that
what I
as
was
you
looking
want.
for.
You put them
But
on
it is
notice
in
at
there.
the meeting.
Yeah, I think we just, in the future, have to be pretty, that we have to put a time period in there.
For what? For
That
what?
was, that's our mistake, but I think we may have to, if it does say that they are due,
For
Doesn't say
outstanding
prior
conditions.
to.
yeah.
I mean, but are you talking about an extension or are you talking about a general application?
Where was that? What page?
It's under new business,
Right, the third sentence on the
the
first.
third from last sentence in the first paragraph, not the title, the first
It
paragraph.
says revised plans are due to the board engineer. They
You're
have not
looking
yet
at-
been submitted.
You're looking at the minutes, they're not
Right.
looking at the
In the
resolution.
resolution, on page 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I guess it's line 8, it starts, line 7, line 8. It says, the resolution, John Yukemek, board engineer, advised the board that one of the conditions of the approval was for revised plans to be submitted to the board engineer. However, they have not been provided yet, and he advised Mr. Pinnacle that the buyer will need to provide that and satisfy all the outstanding
I
conditions.
think the
of
safest course of action is
Is
to,
that clear?
So
There
it's
was no
there,
date for it.
right, but it's going to go to the
So
to the
it's-
buyer, he's gonna
It's
get.
still
the
a requirement.
Yeah, they're put on notice that they're outstanding.
We've just got to stay on top of it and make sure that's
I'll,
provided.
I'll call the applicant and let him know, reiterate that. We need
Because I wouldn't want to
plans,
send him back
and
if he's
he's not
trying to
getting
put shovels
permits.
in and get this project done
Without
in
the
the
revised
restricted
conditions.
time we gave him.
Yeah.
And sometimes I've seen this board give a brief approval of an extension for a few months for someone to clean up the yard or something like, so sometimes they give a brief extension until they take care of these conditions and then gave them
And then give
a longer.
so my
I've seen
my
that.
suggestion is this, in the future, we're going to put a time period on whenever we need something else. But for these purposes, if Grace can make the call and put it in writing to the building department
Okay.
that was discussed by the board, no permits shall issue until the revised plans are submitted as was discussed as a condition of the extension. I think we're okay to
At
vote
least
on
you
it
have a
tonight.
record, you have that in that file in the building.
Right,
Because
so,
eventually someone's gonna come, and if they don't do it within this time frame, they're gonna come back in front of the board again for an extension.
I mean, I'll take the blame for that. I should have been more careful when I was reiterating the conditions to Gary that I should have put a time period on it. But I think we can get past, and we learn from our mistakes, and we'll do that in the future. But again, I think I'll be satisfied if you can
Yeah.
put it in writing to the building department, CC the applicant,
Yeah.
and make the phone call.
Yeah.
I think I'll be-
Unless it's a extraordinarily complex application, I think that should always just be standard prior to our next meeting.
Yeah,
Whatever that date is, whatever our next meeting is,
I would agree.
rather than confusing things and saying, well, within 3 months, within 2 weeks, 6 weeks, it's always prior to our next meeting, unless there's a reason why they shouldn't be reasonably
And then if
expected
they
to
don't
get
come with it,
whatever
we
they
don't
need
pass the
done.
resolution.
Right.
Yeah, then we vote down the
Right,
resolution.
right.
So I would agree.
But I mean, if it's highly complex where it's gonna take them 2 months for them to get somebody to come in and do a different survey or whatever, okay, great. So we do 2 months or 3
But
months.
Our standard.
But generally, it should just be prior to the next meeting.
Yeah, I would think our standard going forward should be prior to the next meeting, again, unless it's a complex application, in which case we can make.
Mr. Guest, may I have a
Yes.
question? Does
Yes.
the resolution that we approve go to the building department and he gets a copy of it?
Yes,
Okay.
but we're going to make sure that he
Reads it?
knows about this one, if we approve the resolution, of course.
And I mean, that protects the builder or the owner too, because
Yeah, I
now he doesn't start something incorrectly because he forgot that the plans were changed over time by the time he puts a shovel in the ground. So we're doing it for their benefit as well, because it's expensive to change things.
Agreed, and we don't want any more changes. We've had too many of those in the past. So, okay. So I think we'll go ahead and I'll make the motion to approve the resolution under those conditions again, that the builder will be CC'd with a letter to the building department, that we need the approval prior to any permits being issued, and preferably, sooner, but prior to any being issued, and you will also make the follow-up phone call as well. And do I have a second on that?
Second.
All right, roll call.
Mr. D'Agostino.
Yes.
Mrs. Grimaldi.
Yes.
Mr. LaGrava.
No.
Mr. Rivera.
Yes.
Mrs. Osmond.
Yes.
Chairman Getz.
Yes. Okay. All right, on to the continuation of discussion regarding escrow and fees. The council has requested suggestions from the zoning board. We have those numbers upstairs in the office
They're
somehow.
downstairs in the locked office.
Oh, downstairs in the locked office.
Yes.
But I'm sure everyone else is completely familiar with all the fees.
Sure we are.
And so we can, if
Well,
there's
it
any.
is on one of the, on the application
It is.
that we have.
Exactly.
Is this all our fees or this is just?
Yeah, I have
That's
that.
just for the zoning board, but I had the other towns and.
Oh, yeah.
We table, we can, but I think, did Mr. Yukimic prepare something for this or no?
Not half-baked.
Okay,
I
table,
brought,
sounds good.
I brought Oakland.
Yeah, that we need
And-
the Oakland one here.
The Oakland one is sort of like dependent on the number of variances that there are, that they're applying for, and then you multiply that number by 4, and that's the escrow account. And it's been working out fairly well. I also printed out Westwood's, which is right next door. They have a nice table that they have in their code, and I could bring this up to you.
Actually, I think if we can table it, and then that way, if you can get those to us before the next meeting,
Oh, I can bring it.
we'll give them the grace.
Take a look at some neighboring towns
Yeah.
and get input from the board.
Yeah, and that way we'll have all of that information before the next meeting, and then we can have a better discussion, I think. There's plenty of time before they're gonna get the budget done to know what fees need to be going in there, so I think tabling to the next meeting is fine. Any objections?
No.
No. Okay. All right. So, any board member, any other issues?
I have a question about the driveway guy, the applicant for the driveway. What's the status on that?
Which one?
Oh, that's on Manhattan.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten a follow-up, right? The resolution was passed, correct?
No,
It was not passed.
it's on hold because of what's going on. When he submitted the plans, the shed is much bigger than what it
That's
should
right.
be.
That's
And
right.
then the driveway, and then we were talking about, should we go in the past? Should we go in the future? Should we go hold up?
It was because of the threshold on impervious surfaces was higher. He reported it being higher.
If you left the driveway the way it was, it wouldn't be here. It's,
I think we approved that last
No.
month, didn't we?
no.
So No,
I say
Actually, I
because it
think we
was,
did. I think it was
we
approved and it's on the
You
website.
approved it.
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
did we
we
approve
approved
But there were a lot of things.
I think we had the discussion at the last meeting.
we had discussion at the last meeting that,
You can look at the minutes and see
Yeah, I
that.
just saw the minutes.
Yeah.
I remember it was recommended to approve.
he was grandfathered for most of what he was doing. And, I don't want to guess, but.
It's in the minutes.
I think we put it off at the August meeting,
Yeah.
and then we had discussion of it at last meeting after, because I think you and I discussed it. back in
Yeah, and
August.
Right, so hold on, so I'm sorry, Mary, you're right. The old business from last month was ZB 2513, where it says to approve the application of Brian Collins for a driveway expansion.
Right.
At the hearing, the board requested the applicant provide an as-built survey, which ultimately showed the impervious covers at 35.9, where 35 is the current threshold for a variance, and then the code changes. But I thought we were still looking for whether or not we can just, I think some of the questions were, are we just looking at the driveway, or are we looking at everything pertaining to the property, which included the shed and everything else going forward? And I don't know how, I'll be honest with you, I don't know how we left it.
So we did some research and we found out when he applied for the various
Right.
expansions to his property, and they all predated the change in the ordinance, which was in September of 2024. So he was essentially grandfathered for all those changes. It's possible that his tweaking of the driveway could have put him over. But but I did a quick calculation and it was less than 0.1%. Or something of that sort. This is my recollection.
Okay, it does say the current approval is only for the width of the driveway, so any other issues found to be out of compliance would still be eligible for a hearing if determined to be necessary. The
The
second
fact that he
shed,
had two sheds.
the second shed and increase in impervious area will be forwarded to the zoning official.
Yeah, you're gonna send an email to Joe,
Yes.
right? Who's gonna do an investigation, something like that?
So I was
Yes.
supposed to send an email.
So yes, we're still waiting for the zoning official to make a determination on the two sheds.
I'm glad I brought it up.
So, okay, sometimes Grace has to do things and sometimes I have to.
If they ever make a determination, yeah, I think,
Do it if you want.
That's all right.
but as far as
I
we're
don't think it's
concerned, it's been approved. by the
So most of it may be grandfathered.
Yeah, the driveway was grandfathered from what I'm gathering, but the two impervious the impervious area issue from the second shed, did it increase it enough to violate the impervious area where they would need to come back for a hearing?
Correct.
And that needs to be investigated by the zoning official and have a report back for next meeting.
And the fact that there's two sheds, because
Yes.
before that, there was only one shed.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. The second shed and increase in impervious area.
Grace, don't you sit next to Joe Sedekis?
I do, and I briefed him on this after the meeting, and then I don't know.
Yeah, but you always have
He
to
was
have it in
supposed to
writing.
send an email.
Yeah, in writing, I think is what we need.
Yes,
You make a good lawyer.
yes, yeah. Probably would have $400.
So for the record, Mr. Yakimic is going to send him an email?
Sure.
Thank you.
Don't mean to sound flippant, so.
No problem.
Because the answer could be that he could be all grandfathered and that's the end of it, done.
Could be, but probably not because of the second shed.
Yeah, right.
Even if the increase in impervious surface is not enough, the second shed, to my knowledge, would be a
Right.
problem.
Second shed.
Okay, this gets 3 asterisks here
That's all we can ask for.
for tomorrow morning.
But the
Hopefully, no mayors will call me
shed
tomorrow morning.
requirements would change this past year when they did the master plan, correct?
Well, that's what the investigation is going to determine, whether it was done before, after, whether it violates it now, whether it violates it then.
Okay.
And they'll make a determination and let us know.
All in writing.
Yes. Ask
All
Mr.
in writing.
All in
Ask
writing.
Mr. Sedekis that we would like to know what the outcome is.
Okay. Yes. Will do.
if you wouldn't
Tomorrow.
mind.
Mr.
The
Sedekis.
second shed is definitely.
All right, that being the last board member issue, or is there
May
another
I
thing?
ask a question?
Sure.
So it's hard for me to have given an opinion before we were talking about terms on resolutions.
Yes.
I don't understand the purpose of setting the tone, and I'd love to hear what the perspective is so that I can have an opinion on person comes here, we approve them, we give them 1 year to potentially build. And if they don't, they have to come in for a renewal, right?
Agreed. This was because there was a condition on the extension. So we made our decision on the extension based upon the condition that he was going to provide the deeds and he was going to provide an as-built survey. So because he provided the deeds but didn't provide the as-built survey, and again, I blame myself, I should have put in a time period for that so that it was clearer, so then we could vote on it, on the resolution, because because that was the condition that we voted on for the extension, not for the original approval. I feel that that was necessary to take into consideration.
I understand. So we're not typically in the habit, because I don't ever remember seeing it, saying you're approved, but you have to do this in a year, right?
Yes,
No,
every
no.
resident, no,
Well-
I'm getting confused now. Are we talking about an extension, or are you talking about you approve, an application comes in from scratch?
Person comes in,
Yeah.
we're over the side yard setback, we approve it.
It's 1 year.
We approve it for 1 year.
It's in every resolution.
So what is the premise?
Some towns do it for less than that.
I'm not
Ours is
questioning it.
1 year. So normally,
It's
yes, this was
the
because it was an extension.
It's a township ordinance. It's under the land use laws.
Because there
And
was
that's what the land
extenuating
use says, you can only-
circumstances.
right, yeah.
Exactly. There was extenuating circumstances on this, and we based our vote based on his representations as to the extension.
Oh, I
Not
understand this one. It's New Jersey state land, it's
It's
the
under the
land.
land use laws that you get, after you have approval for zoning or planning, you have 1 year to start the project.
Yes.
And if you don't start it in 1 year, then you actually should have to come back. And then they ask for approvals, but I mean, you should start almost,
Does
yeah, they
anyone
don't
have
do
up
that
to
most of the
3
time.
years?
What is the,
You
what
were here for the Montessori school, right?
it was?
And they came back the second time saying, we need an extension because they ran into problems, financing, and so forth, and it took a lot longer than they anticipated, so they needed an extension.
I believe they should be liberally granted normally.
Does anybody know what is, I'm more curious than anything. What's the purpose of the term? Why wouldn't it just run with the land? That's my question.
I'd have to ask your legislatures. So,
I'm just curious. It's not,
I mean, in some ways, I think it's good to come back here, because sometimes you have undeveloped properties, or maybe you have a property, somebody got approved, they didn't do anything.
neighboring conditions can
And-
change.
And just to come back and see because we had one application, I think, where they came for an extension and they weren't upkeeping the property. And we gave them a brief extension and said, if you don't, then we're not going to give you any more
We
extensions.
did do that,
Right.
yes.
You know, so
Yeah.
some ways it can be good because they're coming back.
So
in front
that,
of the board,
that, for
because-
instance, is the same as this one. There was a condition on us granting the extension.
Yeah.
And that was they had to clean up the property or we were going to give them the extension.
makes sense.
Yeah. So that's why.
You can try to give incentive maybe for other issues. And like Fred said, I mean, usually, definitely at least for the first extension,
Yeah.
there's really no reason not to.
My recollection,
Yeah,
I think it is liberally granted.
Yes. Yeah, it should
Is
be.
the state.
I think the wording in the municipal land use laws shall not be reasonably
Unreasonably withheld.
withheld,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yeah. There you go. Any other questions, comments, business?
I have old business.
Okay.
Gary and I were requested by a potential developer in town. Now, people are going to fall off their chair, to build 80 assisted, it was 80 assisted living over 55, I think, assisted living
Yes.
units
Senior living.
in a very large building comprising 3 lots immediately north of the Knights of Columbus facility on Pascack Road. And
Horse farm.
we don't,
Farms
you know,
Across the street.
I think it's good practice just to listen to them. So Gary and I were on the call. And they asked us some questions about certain things. We gave as best an answer. Of course, we didn't speak for the board. My biggest question was they did not map the environmental constraints associated with the Musquoa-St. Brook. And they did not do their due diligence on it, and they were taken by surprise kind of at the meeting. And it would probably, I would say, cut their amount in half. Plus, they had a density that was quite high. I think it was it 14 maybe, or 12, or something like that. Dwelling units per acre.
The average is 9 or 10.
And I gave them some advice on the application we had last year, or the year before, at, I think it was 44 Pascack,
Yes.
where we looked at the densities of all multiple units throughout the borough, and I think the magic number was 4 point something.
Yeah, it was under 5.
It was under 5, it was between 4 and 5. So that kind of shocked them as well. And so I predict that it's not going to go anywhere because they really didn't do their homework and their due diligence. I think the environmental constraints associated with the brook is really, would put a kibosh to it. And the owner made representation that if we can't build this amount, it's not
feasible.
To them. So I just want the board to know that we had this meeting.
Much appreciated. Okay. Anything else? All right. Go on.
Not yet.
We need to get another board member. Because I saw that the previous board member has been
Yes.
removed, right? I don't know if that came up in between the meetings or that was before the last meeting. Because I remember you sent me something from the mayor and council had formally removed.
Yes, yeah, I think it was
Mr.
before the
There's
last
no
meeting.
ad yet on the website or anything.
There's no ad, no.
But his term
But if someone
expires at
is
the end.
interested, they should maybe send a letter.
Can we ask Sue to
You know,
put that on for, or to ask the
Yeah,
council president if they want to put that on so that we can get going
Does
on
his
that?
term expire at the end of the year, in which case there's only 2 more meetings? Is it worth it?
Right, yes.
Or just get it
because we
for
still need an
next year.
applicant for next year,
Yeah.
yeah, so we would obviously.
It's coming
swear
up,
Somebody
yeah.
in, so.
I just brought it up because.
But I mean, I
we
don't
are
know
short.
that I would appoint somebody before the
Yeah.
end of the year and have them serve for 2 months.
I would like to apply for that one, because I don't want to be an alternate, I want a regular seat,
Same here.
so.
Yeah, so that we would like them to get the process started if we can, so
Okay.
that we can then
Yeah.
fill those seats January
Okay.
1st or January 2nd.
That's what
Yes.
that's right.
okay.
Okay.
Well, Jeff was an alternate, wasn't he?
Anyone else?
He was a.
No? Okay, motion to adjourn.
Second. Or make motion.
All in favor?
Sorry.
Aye. Thank you, everyone, as always.
Good night.
Enlightening meeting.
Good night, Les.